Okay, it's 5:30. I will call the meeting to order and ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Give everyone a few more moments to review the consent agenda items in your packet. Whenever someone's ready, they can make a motion to approve the January 27th, 2025 regular board meeting agenda as presented.
So move.
Support.
Okay. Any conversation? All in favor, show of hands, please. Okay. Up first, we have a Huron Pines presentation.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Just going to get my presentation up here. All right. Good evening, and thank you so much for the invitation to be here. I'm really happy to be here tonight. My name's Amy Novakuski. I'm the Senior Project Manager at Huron Pines, right here out of our Alpena office. We also have an office in Gaylord. And a quick little background about myself. I grew up right here in Alpena, and I went to Alpena Public Schools. And I moved away for a long time. Lived in Alaska, Colorado, Wyoming, all over the place. And I'm really happy to be back here in my hometown. And I have two young children who also attend Alpena Public Schools. So Huron Pines is a nonprofit conservation organization, and we've been established for over 50 years in Northeast Michigan. As you can see the map on the screen, the dark green color is our traditional service area. So we have a pretty large area that we cover. And I get asked this all the time. We're not a government agency, and we're not a regulatory agency, but we're a nonprofit. So we offer technical expertise in many topics. We collaborate a lot with other organizations and municipalities and partners, and we really are experts at identifying projects that meet multiple organizational goals, securing funding, and managing projects that benefit both communities as well as our natural resources. So the Alpena High School parking lot was identified as an excellent opportunity to manage stormwater, which would protect water quality in our community, would also provide educational and hands-on opportunities for students, and improve parking lot safety. As you can see from this photo, the parking lot is deteriorating and it's in pretty poor condition. So a quick note about stormwater runoff. Traditionally, stormwater is collected in what's termed gray infrastructure. So as rain falls on the ground and snow melts on the ground, it'll flow over any impervious surface where water cannot soak into the ground, such as parking lots or sidewalks or turf grass. And that stormwater will pick up and carry anything on that impervious surface. So road salt, we see a lot of that this time of year. Oil and grease, sediment, the list goes on of potential pollutants that are on those surfaces, which can be carried directly into the stormwater system.
It's working.
I'll keep going. I can hear myself.
Our YouTube stream is working.
So the main point I want to make is that the stormwater, as it flows underground through the gray infrastructure, it does not get treated. It does not go to the wastewater treatment plant at all. It flows directly either into Lake Huron or into the Thunder Bay River. So in 2022, Huron Pines worked with the city of Alpena to come up with this map. And this is a map of the underground stormwater system. And the blue dots are manholes. And the light kind of orangish dots, which may be hard to see, that are along Lake Huron as well as the Thunder Bay River, those are the stormwater outfalls. So the point at which the stormwater exits the gray infrastructure system. And if you can see on here, and I can give you a copy of this too, there's a red box kind of in the left-hand corner, and that box is around the Alpena High School parking lot. So any stormwater that is originated from the Alpena High School parking lot It goes underground and it flows down 3rd Avenue and out the Blair Street Pier. And you've probably all been to the Blair Street Pier. I hope so. It's beautiful. But the reason the Blair Street Pier is there is that it's actually protecting that stormwater outfall. And just to the south of that is where our public drinking water intake pipe is. And so when we talk about protecting water quality, our drinking water system here in Alpena is one of those really important things to consider, as well as the public beaches surrounding all the stormwater outfalls. So green stormwater infrastructure, it functions differently than gray infrastructure, of course. It basically acts to mimic nature. So it's meant to capture and filter stormwater right at its source. So wherever rain falls on the ground or wherever snow is melting. And what it does is when it collects the water, it's not meant to hold water. It doesn't pond the water or provide flooding. It's meant to capture and treat that stormwater runoff, and it passes through the rain garden ideally less than 24 hours. So for a couple of years now, Huron Pines has been meeting with Alpena Public Schools staff, as well as their engineers at IDI. And we've been talking about this project and the possibility of collaborating. Alpena Public Schools has been wanting to replace the parking lot since it's deteriorating. And Huron Pines said, hey, if we can collaborate on this, we can help provide you funding to implement the project and also capture and treat naturally the stormwater runoff and protect our water quality in our community. So we received a grant recently through the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation's Sustain Our Great Lakes grant program. And the Alpena High School parking lot is one project within 5 projects across Northeast Michigan. And so the amount of funding going to Alpena Public Schools for this project is $150,000. And we also have some funding from Walters Family Foundation to provide match to the project. So if this project is approved, I see a lot of great opportunities for students. Of course, place-based stewardship education is on the rise. You know, getting the students outside, taking what they learn in the classroom and walking right outside their door and implementing, you know, the education that they've learned in the classroom. So the current, I should say, underground part of the rain garden and the parking lot itself has been engineered by IDI. But the surface of the potential rain garden has not been designed yet. So the students could really design that. They could choose the native plants. They could develop pathways through the garden. We've talked about fencing around it and potentially developing some educational signage as well. And we've done a very similar project here on Pines Heads. We have staff that goes into the classroom and works with teachers and students and helps these projects, you know, become reality. And we did a recent project with Augrey Sims schools where they designed and implemented both a rain garden on their campus as well as a bioswale, which functions very similarly as a rain garden. And that one was on city property. So they presented to their city council and really were the drivers of this project. And they also grew the native plants in their school greenhouse. So there's a lot of benefits if this project moves forward. Of course, the educational benefits to the students, hands-on learning, and really creating a sense of place and a sense of belonging for students that go to AHS. Of course, the parking lot safety would be improved, flooding would be reduced. And as you know, the parking lot is not just serving the students, but it's our community parking lot for any events that you might have at the high school, as well as the plaza pool. And when we work with our engineers and we develop grant proposals, we always have to calculate the volume of stormwater runoff that would be captured by this rain garden project. And so this is a really big one. So it's estimated that 445,000 gallons of stormwater would be captured annually at the parking lot. So all of that volume of water would be filtered naturally through the sediment and the rocks in the rain garden before it flows out into Lake Huron. So because of the size of the gallons of stormwater that would be captured, it really would be a great example for other locations, not only in the community, but across the region of Northeast Michigan. So potentially, you could have this gravel parking lot turned into a beautiful garden. And that's all I have today, and I would be happy to take any questions that you might have.
Is that the overflow lot we're looking at?
Yes.
Okay.
That was one of my questions. The first photo you showed of the parking lot, was that?
I can go back if
trying to picture where it was and,
So yeah, the main paved parking lot is to the left, and this picture is looking south, kind of toward the intersection of Third and
okay.
Bagley.
I wasn't orientated for that one, so.
Yeah.
This is a question maybe more for Dave than Amy. If we didn't do the rain garden, what's the alternative? Is that gonna be paved or is that gonna remain dirt?
How's it broken out?
That is gonna remain what it is right now, a gravel parking lot.
But the remainder of the parking lot would be paved?
Correct.
Yeah.
The current paved parking lot will be.
Okay.
Very good, Eric. You said at the beginning, you do projects based on organizational goals. Are you referring to your organization?
All the organizations we collaborate with. So in this example, the goal of APS was to replace the parking lot. And our goal is to find projects that are going to be done in the near future and implement green stormwater infrastructure along with those and provide funding toward that effort for the project.
Okay. If we go forward with this garden, who maintains it?
That's a great question, and I was hoping somebody would ask. So a lot of our past green stormwater projects, well, they all have a maintenance plan, and this one will too. So this could provide that long-term opportunity for students to maintain it. And that's a critical part of the design. So you can design a rain garden that has very limited number of types of plants. It's easier to maintain. So the maintenance will be a factor in how that final design goes and what the look of APS wants to achieve. And also a part of this grant is Huron Pines is developing a business sponsorship program. And so we're trying to find a way to have local landscapers come out to these projects, like maybe once a year, that the project hasn't been developed yet, to provide that expertise in maintenance and landscaping. But usually once these projects are planted, it takes a couple of years for the plants to get established, and then the maintenance is really low after that.
Amy, do you have any pictures of other examples like that are completed the projects? So we know what it would actually look like?
Yeah, that's a great question too. So Huron Pines just partnered with NOAA at the Great Lakes Maritime Heritage Center, the museum there. And we did a rain garden project with them because they were working on their outdoor infrastructure. So same kind of thing. They had plans to do some work, and we helped provide funding to develop a rain garden. And we had Posen students come and plant that rain garden. So that one was just done, let me think, last year. So the plants are still establishing right now, but it's right outside the museum on the walkway between their parking lot and the walking bridge to Rotary Island. I don't have a picture right here, but
What happens if we, go ahead, Sarah.
There's also two more. There's one at the Duck Park, which is now Island Park, which is maintained by the Garden Club.
Yep.
And then there's one at the skate park.
Yes, thank you.
What if we don't maintain it? What if we can't? Do we get in trouble for the, I want to say loan, but or for the
The grant.
the grant? Thank you.
Yep. That's a great question too. No, so even without the plants, the rain garden would still function to capture and filter stormwater. So it would still be meeting the grant's deliverables or the grant's goals. We want to have plants maintained and beautiful and make your campus, look nice. And they also provide the opportunity for students to care for plants, maybe grow new plants, and provide the maintenance to kind of that, hands-on learning, definitely. So nothing bad would happen if the plants weren't maintained, but it would also be a goal of ours at Huron Pines to make sure it's maintained throughout time.
What native plants? What's on your list of plants?
Well, that's a great question too. So I'm not the plant expert at Huron Pines, but we have a whole staff that is. So we don't have a list, but we can, for this specific project, of course it depends on all kinds of things, right? Soil, sun, that kind of stuff. have, I can't remember the name of it right now, but we have a guidance document for native plants, not just for rain gardens, but for all different locations across northern Michigan. But that's one thing that Huron Pines staff could do, is work with the teachers and students and come up with a list of plants.
Because I wish you could have answered that a little better, because what plants you would be promoting would make a big difference on the downstream side of this, whether it gets designated wetlands or is, as soon as one cattail shows up or one wild dwarf iris shows up, it's a wetland.
So it won't function as a wetland. I'm glad you asked that question, because it's not meant to hold water. It's meant to have water pass through it. And the plants would be similar to this on this photo, black-eyed Susans, plants that don't want their feet wet, like cattails. It's more plants that are found in, sunny areas. And again, this one here, you can see trees and shade and different plants. But yeah, I can provide you a list too of other plants that we've planted in rain gardens. And I wanted to leave it flexible for this project, because it is really up to what you want as a school board and as APS to determine what the rain garden looks like. Because in some cases, it could be more of a native wildflower garden, flower garden. In other cases, it could be have a more manicured look, or a landscape look.
Do you know what the difference in height between the bottom of the rain garden and the outflow pipe is?
I would have to look at the engineering plans, so I don't know off the top of my head.
So,
Simon, do you know?
Yeah, give us
okay.
a quick minute.
No, that's, and do you know the size of the parking lot right now? I'm guessing it's a 4-acre parking lot, is that?
The engineers calculated 2.2, but I didn't do the measurements. So
Okay,
I don't know what
I'm
that,
just going off
yeah.
of what's in my head.
I don't know what that specifically included.
Don't we park there now? I mean, it's overflow parking lot, we use it, correct?
Yeah. Obviously the majority parks in the existing parking lot.
I understand that, but for any events, it's still used, it's quite full.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I guess that would be the other question, is that we have a parking lot for the purpose of parking if we're gonna put a rain garden, and I'm not against it, I'm just asking questions here, but if we're going to give up parking space for a rain garden, are we kinda shooting ourselves in the foot when we have a limited spot to begin with to park?
Romeo, if you want to talk, can you come up though?
Yeah, the overflow has been used for years. Oh, okay,
Just so you're on camera too.
okay.
Thank you.
Glad I worked. Plus, I just want to congratulate, she was one of my former students and one of my best runners for cross country. So, and I was out there with him when we first looked at this. So the overflow was used years and years ago. And the irony was that it was one of those places where nobody ever wanted to park. Same thing as years beyond, or even when we were larger, we had to park at the stadium. So it was $10 less to park at the stadium and walk in, because we filled all those parking lots. At this point, that area is not used. I can't remember an event that we've had, even with the dance studio when I was there. When I drove by, I didn't see any of the overflow. Actually, I work with Jason during winter to plow it and back it in so that people don't park there. It's one of those areas we don't have great supervision with the cameras, and it's typically they're spinning. I've had it raked about 4 times by kids. The one time they dragged it, I said, nope, you're going to use a rake this time. I made them rake it by hand, only because it's not necessary. So my hope was that piece would be used, because we don't need that overflow. Even for the greater good, our parking lot right now is probably at 75% on a good day, with kids coming and going. There's plenty of parking yet, and that's why we just don't need it. And so I would propose not to pave it, only because I don't see it increasing, and in the largest activities we have, I haven't seen it full. Yeah, and to prevent the traffic from coming in too, because there's a gate there, and then we have cars that sometimes think that you just come in the wrong way and then come in, so we actually had to put barricades up at one point to stop kids from coming in that way, because it was easier to go in off Bagley. So to make that infrastructure stop would be I believe, a positive influence for parking.
Thanks.
Thank you. Question, is this an action item tonight
Yes.
as part of
Part of
the bids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a number, Simon?
From the drain to the outflow, is that what you want?
Well, just, is the outflow pipe sitting at the bottom of this rain garden, or what's the height between those two? Because you're saying it's not holding water, but if we're talking about a 2-acre parking lot, one inch of rain on that parking lot is 50,000 gallons of water, 60,000 gallons of water.
So while they're looking it up for this project, the other projects we've installed, yeah, the stormwater pipe is at the bottom. So if you get a severe storm and the rain garden fills up, it's able to drain. And again, therefore it won't hold water and it won't function as a wetland or hold cattails or any other type of wetland plants. So we'll see what they say on the designs though.
Yeah, it's at the bottom,
It's at the bottom.
like 616, the bottom of the rain garden is 616.
Click, I don't follow.
616 feet on the plan, so that's the bottom of the outfall. Parking lot, 621. There's about a 5-foot difference from the parking lot to the outfall pipe, the bottom of the rain garden.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thanks, Amy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have Romeo coming up next for our AHS Good News presentation.
That is a good picture, though.
I was gonna say, did you have fun?
That is a good picture, so I need to pull this over. Right here, I have like 3,000 tabs open, so do not be shocked when you see that. I don't know why. Here we go. Get out of there. Here. Sorry, guys, I didn't prep because I thought it was all ready to roll. And I don't even know how I got to that.
If you drag that tab to the right.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to do, is pull it out and close it, but there it is. Like that. Typically, you just pull, I haven't used this one before here. It's not pulling in. Right there. There we go. It should pop in. I'm dragging right. So, this, so right, right, up. No, I have nothing. Put it back up. Yeah, that's good. Pop it out. Yeah, right here, I had it right there.
You can come back next month.
There it is. Nope. All right, so let's go into settings and see if I can just
So grab that tab
oh, and just pull it over.
and pull it over to the right.
Right there, look at, there it is.
Look at this tech department.
I'm telling you.
Good work, guys.
There you go.
You guys are it. It's always a slide. I have it set for the high school, so I don't have to drag and pull.
Just cast.
There's nothing worse than casting when you're doing that. And when you have 20 tabs open, you don't want the other 20 to show up. For sure. So, I want to thank you guys for having me here. I want to welcome Monica. And Sarah's not here, but I want to welcome you. And I'll keep this to, I think Summer said 45 minutes?
It was 4 or 5.
4:05, okay, I saw the 3, I said to Lisa, says, good luck with that 3, people. So, anyhow, welcome, I think this is a good idea, we used to come to the buildings, it was more difficult, I think this is a good idea, and to have us all come in and do our piece to share what is happening at our buildings. So we call it the good news, so you see our good news every time. So what I want to do is I want to focus on what I believe we're trying to achieve at the high school with staff and students. And the two pieces that we look at are the positive culture and positive climate. So build a positive school climate, which is how they feel, and create a positive school culture. One of the drives we're moving towards is how do you build a positive climate? So what does it mean at Alpine High School? So when you look at this, you can see keywords as you read it. You can see safe, respected, supported, engaged, fostered, in relationships, community, minimal disruptive behavior, trying to create a place where kids and staff feel safe and comfortable. When we look at the strategic plan and we look at all the work that was done here, you see where it's tied in with community, it's tied in with welcoming, all the different pillars that we identify. So when we look at this, it's a piece that I find is very important. I think one of the things I talked to Dave when I took the job was I wanted to bring up that positive climate. I wanted the students to feel like they really belonged. And when basically I had to build my team because we had to pick new principals, it was do you have those same beliefs? Do you feel that the students need to feel like they belong and want to be part of it? Being visible, working with them, making sure that they feel they have a voice. One of the pieces that we work through is looking at student and staff voice. I pushed my first year and our admin team to really get student voice, to make sure that students felt that they could be part of the solution. They could bring questions, didn't have to be afraid to locate an adult to talk to, and also to do that with staff. So staff felt heard, valued, and respected. For me, that was trying to really be there with the students before, being in front of them, being visible, and fostering that environment where they feel like it's their building. I tell students that all the time. This isn't my building. I'm here to help guide it. This is your building. This is yours. You determine when you break something, it's yours that you broke, not mine. I just have to make sure I manage it. And these are the pieces that our team looked at doing with all the different pieces, from school pride, which I'll show you pictures of, the belonging, like they want to be part of the change in climate. They want to be in that positive atmosphere. The teams that we've had created since I became principal was a student climate team. They started with promoting kindness, not only in the high school, but their main goal is to do outreach within the elementary schools too, because we need to start before high school. Students need to feel that they have a say in it's important to be kind. Student council was another thing that we worked on resurrecting last year. Our student council used to be present, and then it became more of a leadership. They help with a lot of the positive activities in the school, but we also needed a student voice, a governance body, and so we elected a president. We had actually all student-driven. Students came forward and asked to have this done, and so they started all the pieces of it and put it in play, and now we're in year 3 of that, and I'm very proud of it because that team comes together every week and every other week to determine what are the positive pieces we need to do, what do we need to bring forward, how do we hear students, what do we do to find avenues to make sure that they have a way to share ideas or thoughts that they have, any complaints, what can we do to help. Doors always open in our offices, my principals, myself, kids come in, and I'm going to show you an example of that. But the big thing is giving them a voice was important. We do it in athletics and extracurricular activities all the time with band, choir, maskers, all those different clubs and activities, including sports that help kids find pride in what they're doing. You can see some pictures here. The one on the top is our elementary students at Wilson. You can see they went in and they did projects, arts and crafts before Christmas with them promoting kindness. And it's fun. They find it super rewarding. Our student council does, at the bottom left, you can see the student council doing a popcorn fundraiser. So all their money goes back to the students. The parking spots that I fund go into their account, which help to provide opportunity for our students in some way. So it's pretty awesome. They've done, and this has been well received. I mean, Monica knows, the smell of popcorn throughout the school, along with great lunches, is unbelievable. On the top right, you can see Izzy. She's the head of the climate team, and she leads all the events that we do. And just outstanding young lady, and just couldn't do it without her. She's going to be in her 2nd year. on the team, and she's just a junior, so we get another year with her. Last year, she was brought on board as a 10th grader and was role modeled by all the peers she had to say, this is what I want to do. At the bottom, you can see our staff. This was pre-Lions. This was a sad picture in retrospect. However, it was our event to try to show support within the communities and an idea of our team comes together. Our teachers feel valued just like the students, and it's real. Here we have the senior sunset. So every year we try to do something new with our seniors. This was a sunset senior opportunity. We did it at the Prescott Lighthouse. It was pretty awesome. I lost a couple of them for a little while, but I got them there for the final picture of the sunset. They took a wrong turn at the lighthouse, the wrong lighthouse. At the bottom, we have our kaput events. That's an activity night. We do dodgeball, volleyball, try to the kids and parents united together to do our activities for our students. Again, highly invested, highly involved. They love it. National Honor Society, of course, is a great opportunity. And at the bottom, that's just some athletics saying, hey, we're going to do our best costumes to practice volleyball. It's a great opportunity just to get involved, show some spirit, and just go that extra mile. Our spirit days are widely, you see them on Facebook. Our kids, they go outstanding costumes, outstanding outfits, and really try to celebrate the opportunity. In the middle is our powder puff. That's how we open up homecoming week with activities. We do a volleyball tournament, a volleyball show, and a football activity. It's just a great opportunity for those two classes to come together to represent the starting of homecoming. Then our assemblies are typically one of the highlights of the whole week of both homecoming and Winterfest. Activities are all week. The hall decorating, if you haven't been to the high school, is just outstanding. Sarah knows she was our last judge. We had an upset. We had the seniors lost. It was not rigged. We don't. So I'm pushing them to do even better this year. But it's just an opportunity for them to know that being part of the culture change is doing and being part of these activities, because we all know that high school is fast and it's only a small section of our lives. And one of the things that I find is our dual enrolled students come back and they'll say in December, God, I wish I was here, Raj. More than just 1 hour a day. And they don't realize it till after they're gone, because we all know that high school comes, college is here, our lives begin, and then all of a sudden we're like 57. Like right now. I think I'm like 21 like last week. But we are now 57. So it just time flies like that. So it's really important for them to get involved, be inspired, just be part of a climate that's positive and do good things. You know, I preach all the time. Don't do something that's going to get me fired, please. Just because they're excited. They're excited with times, and end of the year is exciting. So this is just one of the pieces that I think is really important. To have a better culture, to get to that, you have to give them student voice. Ironically enough, last night or yesterday when I got home, I was we're going through emails, I found this, and I said, here's a great example of student voice. So I deleted what I had, and these students emailed me this email. And if this doesn't show student voice and student climate and culture, I don't know what does.
I agree with them too.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, but this wasn't solicited in any way. This was emailing me on a Sunday, and that's what students do. They come into the office, not just mine. They come into Mike's, they come into John's, they come into Eric's, they go into the counselors. They're going to adults. They're going into classrooms. They are not afraid to engage with adults, and that's the positive climate that we want. If we want culture to increase, and we want students to realize they want better and they want more, we have to give them that opportunity. School culture is about the positive cultures, not only having a positive climate, but if we want to increase rigor, we want to increase the value we want students to do, we got to give them a voice, we got to give staff a voice, and we need to be able to do this. And one of the drives that we have is to make students successful. And if that's it, we need to put the best in front of them. And I believe every day we try to do that. And I want to keep kids at school as long as I can. I always tell kids, you don't have to take 4 dual enrollment courses. You can take 2. We have everything we can give to you that you can do at the high school. And I think as we move forward with the strategic plan, all the 5 pillars encapsulate what I'm talking about. They grab it and say, this is the culture we're trying to do. We need to get families involved. We've got to talk to our personnel. We've got to do the whole child. With our PSTs, which are problem-solving teams, we're diving deeper into every piece of data that we can to find out what we can do to make every student better and the high school better. So I believe in this, that with the strategic plan, our climate and culture are going to build. What we're doing at the high school right now, led by our instructional coaches, and it's ironic because I collaborate with Petoskey, Gaylord, and Cadillac every other week with the principals. And so I just filed away in my notes for our next meeting was Deidre from Petoskey says, just tell me how you got those instructional coaches. I need them. How did you do it? So I called Matt and I said, Matt, where did that come from? We know the funding. What is it?
Just came from places.
Yep. No, 31.
Well, you gotta go back in time.
Back in time. And they became creative to find us this piece. And our instructional coaches, along with the principals at the high school and the junior high, are working on team time. That's probably the best thing we've had, where our teachers are coming together on a regular basis, led with direct guidance on how we're moving forward. You can see one of the things that I'm really excited about next year is we came up with grading practices this year where they're truly an accurate reflection of the knowledge. It's not just a grade. The grade really has value and it has meaning. And we need to make sure that all of our teachers are doing that. And we're setting up consistent grading bases and grading practices. And the next steps are common assessments and building-wide retest policies for 25-26. So excited about this work. Working with Matt and Stephanie on targeted professional development that's going to do this. And we just have to move forward. And I'm excited about this work. I really am. One that, when I leave, I can know that these pieces are in place so that we're working on a program just like the strategic plan. These are part of that, and it's necessary for us to be great. Lastly, student recognition. We all know that you see the Wildcat Way, you see the Student of the Week, and Rotary students, one that we started up again this year, thanks to Rotary. Dave normally gets to recognize those students when they come with their parents. It's a great opportunity to recognize students that Rotary, that we choose. But this year, what I was really excited about, our climate team, our MTSS team, worked to say, what are we going to do to make kids try even harder? We used to have huge assemblies and recognize students, and it just fell on deaf ears. This was our opportunity this semester for each teacher to award 3 achievement awards that would 2 fall on the report cards, but to do the presentations in front of their peers. So that top left one right there, every teacher chose 3 kids per grade and gave them an award with their signature on it that needed to go home, and those will be on the graduation tables. And this will push kids to want to strive to be better. We did it in front of their peers. They explained why they got the awards to the kids in front of their peers, and it was received wonderfully. I tried to get every picture on Facebook so the parents could see it, but also just so that they could feel like, I did do better, I did more. And what are you going to do next semester to maybe get awarded that too? And that's what we need to do. We need to strive to not only be on the Student of the Week, the Wildcat Way, but what can you do to make your imprint at Alpena High School? And that's what culture and raising culture will do for us. So I'm excited about that, and it was well received, and so that is my good news. Any questions? Good.
I would just like to say I'm very lucky that I'm there every day and I get to see this. And I think you are doing a phenomenal job.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
You're very open throughout the whole day. Students can talk to you whenever. And I know you enjoy what you're doing, and we're lucky to have you.
Oh,
so
thank you so much. Thanks. And it does make a difference. When you go to work and you enjoy what you're doing, it really does. And kids do, it's infectious. You go into a building, into an elementary building, junior high or high school, it's infectious. I say, when people come in and have lunch with us, I said, just come out, we call it Principal's Corner where we eat lunch, so feel free to come in. Kids just come up, and as people come up, well, you're on a duty-free lunch. There's no duty-free lunch here. This is supervision. We're in the hallways, so kids can come up to us, and it is cool, so thanks, and I appreciate it. And I encourage you all to come to lunch. There is no better food, seriously. Our school lunch is phenomenal. Salad bars rocks. Yeah. So anyhow, thank you for having me. Thanks for letting me do this. Hope I didn't run over the 3 minutes.
Hang on.
Romeo.
Yes, sir.
One more question. This week we were sent some information on cell phone policies in Broward County. and which was kind of interesting. They were talking about a real cell phone ban and how it's improved the student culture and climate. And I'm wondering, with the cell phone restrictions that we currently have in place, do you feel like that has been a positive influence on the climate and the culture? And do you think it'd be worth going further with those sorts of things?
Well, I think you're 100% right. And to be honest, I was very afraid to do the cell phone policy because I didn't know how we were going to be able to enforce it. And all that worry was for naught. It, with a great, how we rolled it out was perfect. The families, a little unsettled because they want their student to have that phone. And then we started with putting them in the backpacks, which was more difficult to monitor and police because it's in the pockets. Like I had Jesse Patterson, who moved to where does he live? Is that Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania.
Just kidding. I'm teasing. She knows. Penn State. And like it's in the pocket. So are you staring at the pocket? Are you looking there? So out of sight, out of mind, all times during class. There's no reason to pull it out and look at it for that. But it has increased our engagement, I would say, trifold. And our culture. Because guess what we're not having to deal with now? You know how many problems happen because of this? How much lack of engagement there is? I mean, I know that most of us we have to look at meetings and we got stuff popping up and we have to try to do that. But to put that phone down and not worry about it, and the reason we thought the bag was so they don't feel it vibrate, because then they automatically get this jitter that they've got to look at it. And the watches. We just finished final exams. I had one lose their phone during final exams, and the mom was angry. I explained to her, I said, we have no way to know whether she cheated. We have no way to know. We don't have to give warnings because it was warned before you walked in. On the first day, we covered all this, and they have been very receptive. Kids that don't want to turn their phone in, they go home. And we give the parent the phone and say, two choices. They can come turn it into a restorative center, or they keep it out of sight, which is probably not going to happen, or you just keep the phone home. And we're pretty stringent upon that. It's worked, and we do get some that won't turn it over, and they just it's not an argument. So it's really been beneficial. I have read a lot on the bans, and the policing of it would be tough. I think we've done a good job of finding that balance right now. I mean, I'm comfortable with it. I think our engagement's increased, and that's the most. And the social media piece is out of play during the day. You don't have that. That's nice. And they can't take it to the bathroom with them when they leave. So if they go to the restroom, you got to put it there. Earbuds are the same thing. You've got earbuds in. No earbuds. So like I'll walk by a class and I'll see it and I'll just come up and say, "Can I have your earbuds?" I make them put it in the case. Seriously, one day I touch it and it's just not a good idea. And so it took the earbuds. I never thought of taking the phone because really the earbuds are nothing without the phone. So like Eric says to me, you got to take the phone too, Rome. You can't just take the earbuds. And so then I realized that, but it was enough. I very seldom get a kid say no to me, but I know the teachers do, and that becomes a power struggle, and it ends, and they just call for admin, or security, come get the kid or the phone, and then it ends. They've been really good conversations, actually. And with the parents, it's just re-educating. They think they got to have that. I had a kid using the phone today. They just have to remember the number. Think about that. That's the biggest thing is remembering the number. Cool. So thanks for asking.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Very helpful.
Anybody else? I could stay up here all day.
We know you
Yes,
could.
we know.
We know.
All
I
right.
think we're past our 4 or 5 minutes.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Romeo.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the kind words, too.
Romeo, somebody asked you about the funding currently on their instructional coaches with at risk.
At-risk money. It was, but I had it written down. It was 31N. We see how we developed it. And it all comes out at 31, which is an awesome opportunity. Just because the instructional coaches are, oh my gosh, thank you.
Thanks, Romeo. We have reached the point in our agenda that citizens or delegations may address the Board of Education. According to Board Policy 0167.3, public participations at board meetings, individuals addressing the board are asked to state their name, address, and/or group affiliation, shall direct all comments to the board, not staff or other participants, shall not make personal attacks against a school board member or school district employee by name, shall be limited to 3 minutes duration, shall not speak more than once on the same topic unless all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. The portion of this meeting shall be limited to 30 minutes, but the time frame will be extended if necessary so that no one's rights to address the board will be denied. Okay, come on up. Do you have a remote for the timer? not, I'll use my phone.
Hi,
Hi,
Bruce
Bruce.
Goodrich, representing Goodrich Paving. My address is 8215 US 23 South, Osney. Just here to talk about the parking lot bid that you have received. I got some paperwork. I was not low bid on the parking lot, was within 0.5%, and your bid documents leave that open for you to choose whoever you would like for doing the parking lot. So I guess I'm just here as a sales pitch for myself anyway, that we're local and we're here and we've worked with you, I don't even know how many times over the years, doing a lot of paving for you, and we just hope you take that into consideration.
Thanks. We don't really respond during public comment, but thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
Bruce. Anyone else? Okay, well, we'll have another opportunity later on if anyone else wants to come up later. We'll keep moving on to our action items. We have a handful of consent agenda items in front of you. We need a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented. December 9th, revised workshop meeting minutes. December 16th, revised regular meeting agenda. Approval of the December 16th regular meeting minutes, December 16th closed meeting minutes, December 23rd special meeting minutes, and the January 13th monthly workshop minutes.
I move to accept or approve the consent agenda items.
I would support it.
Okay, any further conversation? Okay, all in favor, show of hands, please. Thank you. Okay, up on our additional business requiring board action are the Wild Court properties. Paper in our packet, same one that we were given from the workshop. And everything kind of spelled out in that lengthy, the motion, which has all the details. Do we want to hear from Mary again on this, or anything new? No. Okay. Okay, if not, we would need to have a motion to approve the sale of Wildcat Court properties as follows. Would anyone like me to read the entire section? It states the lots, one of them being the price of $25,000, and then the other 4 lots at the $28,000, and then the building restrictions as follows: single-family stick-built homes, not to exceed 2 stories, single-family permanent real property modular, the private garage, 3-car garage maximum if the slot permits, any style of dwelling, lots of details on that one, taking care of your yard in terms of sodding, and mobile manufactured homes are not allowed. It's all spelled out there. When would these potentially be hitting the market? Okay, ASAP.
So Summer quits getting phone calls?
Yeah, Mary Crow still would be handling the listings.
And forgive me, we don't have the map in front of us, but just to verify, we are maintaining the lots along Thunder Bay Junior High, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Keeping those, yes.
I would offer the motion to approve the sale of Wildcat Court properties as stated with the restrictions.
I'll second that.
Any further conversation? Okay, all in favor, show of hands, please. A no or just abstaining? No, and 1 no. Well, no, Monica's a no. Okay, thank you. Okay. Up next, we have our summer phase 2B bids. The first one was the consideration of 031A earthwork and utilities. And this This was to award the 031A alternate 1 and alternate 3 earthwork and utilities contract for the amount of 1.3845 to Champagne and Marks for the work needed at Alpena High School as part of the Safe, Dry, and Warm Run.
I have a question, but do I have to wait till discussion?
No.
So my question stems on this one from the Champagne and Marks, which actually I looked up. They looked like a wonderful company, however, they were sold in December. And so I was wondering if we did background on the company that purchased them? Is that? Or at least that's what I read. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
Tony Nathaniel with Clark Construction Company. In terms of them being sold, I don't know anything about them being sold, to be honest with you.
Okay.
We post-bid them, we're working with them currently at West Branch Schools, doing an excellent job for us. So they went through our pre-qualification process and we post-bid them. They had a complete scope, and they're good contract to work with.
But I think Eric's question is the same people that you're working with now gonna be the,
Yes.
okay?
Yep, same project manager, superintendent that
Okay.
we post-bid will be part of our project.
Thank you.
Which of these three is the one with the grant, rain garden grant? I don't see it anywhere.
So the rain garden grant, that'd be alternate number 3, so Champagne and Marks, they included $100,000 for alternate 3, and Hunt Brothers had $1,600, which is a little bit of concrete work.
I would have a little reservation voting on the rain garden, since we just received really the bulk of the information on that tonight. Personally, I don't know how I feel about that.
I would have to agree too. I'd kind of like a blueprint or a map exactly of how this is going to be, where it's going to be, and a little more information.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a conversation 2 or 3 years in the works, so we've had conversations over that time of what it would look like.
But Dave, I've been here 2 years and I don't recall many of those conversations. So, I mean, maybe they're happening, but this is the first that I've really seen the nuts and bolts of it.
Okay.
I would offer a motion if it wouldn't mess things up too badly to award the 031A and the alternate number 1 with the exclusion of any decision on the alternate number 3, if that would be possible. I mean, if this needs to move forward, just we can talk about this grant perhaps at another meeting or even right after, but just I'd like to see if we could separate that from the discussion of the rest of the work. Does that sound reasonable?
You have any thoughts on how that would work?
Nope, and that's why we bid it this way, to keep those numbers separate, so I don't have any issue with that.
Okay, well, that would be my motion then to.
I would support that.
Okay, so you want to, a motion to award the 031A alternate 1 and just omit alternate 3, is that
Right, to
work?
exclude alternate 3, the rain garden from the current vote.
Yep. Okay. Did you get that, Summer? The motion, okay. And Eric Lawson, Eric Hansen, you supported, is that
I
correct?
did, yes.
Okay. Okay, any further conversation? Okay, if not, let's see, let's do a roll call on this one, please, Thea.
I do have one
Oh,
thing. How
sorry.
long have we kicked this can down the road about the rain garden?
When do we need to have a decision on the
Yeah.
rain garden? Well, I was gonna ask Clark.
In terms of the project, it's, the material associated with that phase is not a long lead time. So as we get closer to summer, it will become an issue, but right now you have time to look into it, make a decision.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry, Sarah, for cutting you off. Okay.
That's okay.
Any further conversation? Okay, roll call, please.
Member Fritz,
Nay.
Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
Member Dzinski?
Aye.
Member MacArthur?
Aye.
Member Meinhardt?
Aye. Okay, that one passed forward, thank you. Up next would be the asphalt bid, that, the Payne and Dolan, and then the one that Bruce mentioned. Currently, it's stated it's a motion to award the 0328 asphalt work contract in the amount of $681,400 to Payne and Dolan for the work needed at Alpena High School as part of the Safe, Dry, and Warm Bond.
Nathan, was it Nathan?
Tony.
Tony, I'm
Yep.
sorry. Tony.
Yep.
What were the numbers on the asphalt? Because right now, all I have is the final. And you
Yep.
had, I seen you had the tab sheet, didn't you?
Yes, yep, so, base bid, Payne and Dolan was $681,400, and Goodrich base bid was $713,950. Bruce did provide, alternate, and the alternate was approved by IDI, the engineers, and that got Bruce down to $685,000. So Bruce was still 3,600 high.
I'd like to make a motion.
I have a question. So is this a firm cost on the asphalt with no adjustment for the fluctuation of the asphalt binder, because it is a petroleum project, and this is going to be like 6 months down the road before do you see what I'm saying?
I do not.
Okay, so asphalt uses petroleum or an oil-based thing, and
Okay.
that oil, the cost fluctuates. What I want to know is this a firm bid?
It's a firm bid,
So
yep.
if it is any fluctuation in the cost of the oil for the asphalt binder?
Correct, no, they're in
It's
at
a
this
firm
number,
bid.
yep.
Okay,
So the
Thank you.
firm bid is $685 for Goodrich.
Yep,
no, for Payne and Dolan.
Payne and Dolan, yes.
Payne and Dolan is
So-
681.
Okay, so $713,950 for Goodrich.
950,
Oh.
but he said something about the
So you said
685.
Yes, so Bruce offered at bid time an alternate to use a different asphalt product, different mix, which brought his value down to $685,000.
So,
What is-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What is the quality of that mix then compared to what the more expensive one would be?
Bruce, do you want to speak to that? I know the
Yeah.
engineers did approve it with IDI. I don't know if there's any more to say on that, Bruce, or, it's been a product that's been used before.
Just for an example, it's the same mix we used at Thunder Bay that was paved in 1990-something. We took up at Thunder Bay's parking lot, it's holding up quite well. It's a pretty common mix that we use daily.
Tony, this piece of paper, did you get this one that Bruce gave us?
I did not get that one.
Could you show? Is this, so this is included in the bid letting, or the bid request? Because that's your name on it, right, Tony?
That's correct, yep.
Okay. So basically, just so everyone in the community can understand here, the highlighted section says the School District Board of Education reserves the right to accept or reject any and all bids, either in whole or in part, to waive any informalities or irregularities therein, or to award the contract to other than the bidder submitting the best financial bid, low bidder, in its sole and absolute discretion. So that all bidders receive this, correct?
That's correct, yep.
Okay, so we're looking at, Goodrich is within a small margin, $5,000?
Correct, yep, and we did post bid Bruce. We have no issues going with him as well. Payne and Dolan, there was no reason to disqualify him. He was a low bid, so, but we would support going with Goodrich as well.
You know, I have nothing against the other company, Payne and Doyle, but I know Goodrich has provided exceptional work for the district in the past. It's a local business. You know, I personally would support that move myself. Are we able to entertain a motion for that, or does that?
Yeah, can we just keep talking for a second?
Sure, sure,
I just have,
absolutely.
I mean, because I think we all probably feel the same way, like we really respect Goodrich and Bruce, and probably nothing would make all of us happier than to support Goodrich and his family.
I think my one concern is what kind of precedent we're setting when we kind of start handpicking our bids based on who our friends are and who we like when, like, if the tables were turned, you know, if like it was a MacArthur family was the lowest bidder and we picked another bidder because we like them better. I just worry like about what kind of precedent we're setting. And I don't know, Mary, I know you had said at the workshop that you thought legally this wasn't okay. I guess I'm a little confused because of the paperwork that Bruce gave us. It makes it sound like it would be okay. Just if you have any more information on that about what happens, like if we kind of start handpicking our companies based on loyalty versus bidding amounts.
So your bid process is supposed to be fair and equitable, which means that everybody has the information that they need to apply for the bid. Everything that they need is put out on the table in the RFP. They're able to ask questions, they're able to, those things are then added as information to the other bidders so that everyone is on a fair playing field. Ethics are applied, which means the bidders cannot offer gifts or any kickbacks to the district or anything like that. It's supposed to be transparent, completely transparent to the public. You are supposed to gear this so that the community that you work for, that has gifted us with this money, receives the very best value for their project to the qualified bidder. So if they're both qualified for it, you're supposed to go for the best value. And I appreciate Bruce. I mean, I know that he's done a lot of things for the district. I get that. I also know that there will be other jobs that come along. But I think it's very important to maintain our ethics and maintain a fair and equitable bid process.
I don't see where we're not being fair or ethical here. It's not like we're in a back room saying, I mean, this is out front and above board.
That we're making a decision based on a contractor coming and speaking to us tonight.
No, I'm not making a decision because Bruce
Because
stood
of our
here for a minute.
relationship.
Because
And again, we've made those decisions before. And when we've chosen to not go with a low bidder or someone along those lines, there's been a reason why, based on their performance or our satisfaction to those sorts of degrees. Not too long ago, we didn't get any bids, and we needed to expand our net of where we're bringing potential contractors in from. If the word on the street is they're just going to go local, that, that severely reduces the potential of people that would bid on these projects. We've gone through this just in my short time here, where we had no bidders and we had to rebid, and you know what happens when you have to rebid. The price goes up because they know you haven't gotten any bids. So we want to cast a wide net, and I would say, no, we don't want to. Yes, Bruce, we are eternally grateful. I met you on Sunday at Besser and thanked you for doing that work and all of that. That's not what this is about. It is about, can districts, when they see an APS bid come on the system, can they trust that it's going to be a fair and ethical and transparent process?
we're not talking about a huge dollar. What did you say, Tony? Was it 0.5%?
Yep, it was $3,600.
But I mean, in the overall, I didn't do the numbers, but it's
Yeah,
less than
pretty close. Yep,
%.
So that's the difference between the two bids now.
correct. Yep.
So Tony, did the other vendors have the opportunity to adjust their bids with the new mix?
They did not. No.
It was done prior to the bid.
Yep. Yeah.
It wasn't
Bruce had his in his bid submission. Correct. Yep.
for an alternative, you mean?
Right.
I know it may be a small amount, but it's still money that we've been entrusted with to do the best and the most equitable and the most equal to the district. I mean, $3,000 is $3,000.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna say that, the argument can be the same, that that money then stays in the community for local employees. You know, and I understand, and first of all, I take a little bit of offense to the insinuation that we're biased or that we're bribed, if you will. I have taken nothing from Goodrich Trucking getting this or Goodrich Asphalt getting a contract. And to Dave, to your mention, we've seen this both ways. We have. If you also remember the BC Pizza issue, which was the lowest bidder, and we excluded JJ's, which has provided excellent service to the district because it was the lowest bidder, and that fell on the face, and they had to come in and save us. So from an administrative purpose, knowing that there's a business that has provided a history of quality work and can follow through does have weight. And so we know without a doubt that Goodrich Trucking or Paving, forgive me, has provided quality work. I think that that does hold some weight. And if we don't have the option as a board to whether, then this should be taken out of our contract or our bidding thing. I mean, it clearly says we have the opportunity to choose what we want as a board.
Well, I agree. I don't think anyone said you received a kickback or anything when she was talking about bribes. That's just a description of the process that we're expected to follow.
And I understand, and this is an open meeting. The community members are listening to us right now. The numbers are out there. We are not trying to hide anything. We simply express the fact that there's a contractor that's done good work.
So, excuse me, Anna, we do not have a motion on the
We
table,
do not.
correct? Okay, just making sure I didn't miss one.
Well, I'd like to go ahead and make the motion that we award the asphalt work contract for $685,000 to Goodrich.
I'll second that.
Was that the exact amount?
Yes, that's correct.
AJ, did you second that?
I
Is that
did,
correct?
I'm sorry.
Any further conversation?
I did mention this before, but I'm just going to add my voice to those who were confused by, I guess, being told that you can't choose anybody but the low bidder. And then seeing this here, which certainly seems to give us a certain leeway, that kind of doesn't sit well with me. But I do think, in my own mind, in this whole process, I'm just thinking about, again, a contractor who is a known quantity, who's done excellent work, without any feeling of loyalty, oh, we must award this to this person, to this business because of prior, relationship. No, just on the basis of the work itself. I think the comment about the junior high parking lot is an excellent point. Again, that doesn't influence me because it was made after my mind was already thinking about what direction I kind of was hoping things would go. So that's kind of where my reasoning is on it. And again, I don't have anything against this other contractor other than I think Goodrich has just proven themselves time and time again. I don't see any reason not to. And since it's such a small amount, I feel like it's not that big a deal. I mean, I'm crazy, but.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Anything else? Okay, Doug, we do a roll call on this one, please, Summer?
Yes. Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Dzinski?
Aye.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
Member MacArthur?
Aye.
Member Fritz?
Nay.
Member Meinhardt?
Nay. Okay, motion carries. Contract awarded to Goodrich. All right, next up is motion to award 003D, alternate 1, and was alternate 3 again, the rain garden one?
Correct,
Okay.
yeah.
Alternate 1 and alternate 3 site concrete work in the amount of $578,580 to Hunt Brothers for the work needed at Alpena High School as part of the bond.
Do we need to pull that number 3 off?
Yep, the new motion would pull that
Okay,
one off.
I thought you were, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
no, I was just clarifying as I read what it was, yep.
So I would offer the motion to award 003D, alternate 1, is that what we're? Okay, alternate 1.
And omit alternate 3. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, Okay, Eric made the motion. Is there a support?
Second, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any further conversation on this one? Okay, if not, roll call again, please.
Member Dzinski?
Aye.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
Member MacArthur?
Aye.
Member Fritz?
Aye.
Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Meinhardt?
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Annual summer tax resolution. Thank you, Tony. This is yearly process, a motion to accept the preamble and resolution as presented to impose a summer tax levy of 100% of annual school property taxes on property in the school district and request each city and/or township to collect the taxes.
I would offer that motion.
Second.
Okay, any further conversation? Okay, not all in favor, show of hands, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, up next, Human Resources Staff Update.
For our new hires, we have professional staff, Rachel Smith-Hanson, second grade teacher, Kate Mazurik, our math teacher, Amy Whitey, Title I teacher, Veronica Engel, a special ed teacher. We hired some staff support, Leah Tolan as the GSRP paraprofessional, Barbara Whiteman as an office assistant, Nicole Hewland as an instructional assistant, and Tiffany Schutz as a food service float. We had the following resignations: Nicole Guy as an instructional assistant, Joyce McCoy as CTE director, Karen Lowry as food service helper, and Daniel Oxford as a bus attendant. We had Sherry Herzl as an instructional assistant as a termination, and we'd like to say congratulations to Christina Coping as our online teacher retiring after 30 years.
That one's a heartbreaker.
Yeah. Wow. And then we just need a motion for the four professional staff.
I'll make the motion.
Abstaining from this tonight, okay. So, someone other than Eric can support Monica's motion.
I will offer that support.
Okay, thank you. Any further conversation? Okay, all in,
Can I have a question, I guess?
Yeah.
Did you post for the CTE director? Any?
A handful of interest, but
Okay.
it's big. Big position to fill.
But that's why I was curious.
Yes.
And that's one that kind of important to keep everything rolling.
Yeah, and we've got, between Mary and Ron Worth and the rest of the CTE staff, they're moving it forward, and we want to make sure we get the right person.
yep. Okay, any further conversation? Okay, all in favor, show of hands, please. 5, and Eric is abstaining, thank you. I thought Rachel already worked at Wilson.
She's been there 2 years.
Oh, okay, so I was like, I was a little confused. Okay, gifts, charitable contributions.
Yes, another wonderful bounty of contributions to the district. Patty Buck gave a monetary donation valued at $500 to the Edward L. Buck CTE Scholarship Fund. The Bradley Agency gave a monetary donation valued at $100 to the AHS Knowledge Bowl team for an upcoming tournament. The Dance Center gave a monetary donation valued at $500 to the McKinney-Vento homeless and at-risk students/families in transition. Dennis and Ruth Rabo gave a monetary donation valued at $30 to the McKinney-Vento homeless and at-risk students, families in transition. First United Congregational Church donated winter gear for students at Lincoln Elementary valued at $125. DTE donated winter mittens and gloves valued at $100 to Hinks Elementary. The Lappin Agency gave a monetary donation valued at $563 to the AHS School Success Program. The Kiwanis Club of Alpena donated a dictionary to each third-grade student at Hinks Elementary, valued at $100. The City of Alpena gave a monetary donation valued at $151 to the AHS School Success Program. Luann Antrim donated a wide variety of school supplies for students at Hinks Elementary valued at $100.
I move to accept the gifts listed above with gratitude and thank the donors in writing for their generous gifts.
Support.
All in favor, show of hands. Okay, thank you. Okay, we are at our second opportunity for citizens or delegations to address the board. Okay, seeing no one coming forward, we'll move on. I don't believe we have any letters and communications. Is that correct? Okay. Reports and information from the superintendent and staff.
All right, January is Board Appreciation Month, so I want to publicly say thank you for everything you do for the community and the schools. And we have a small token of our appreciation. Some APS swag. Sarah.
Which Sarah?
Which Sarah?
I know we have two Sarahs and two Erics. I'm like, what have we done? Like,
Yeah. Monica. Eric, here. I guess I should grab AJ's too. So Eric, there you go. Thank you, Monica. Numerous items there, so we'll keep this one for Sarah. Anna.
thank you.
And Eric. Okay.
Good night, Tony. Thank you. Good night, Amy. Thank you.
Amy. Again, thank you all for, giving of your time. The pay is spectacular, and the hours are commiserate with the pay. I don't know, but we thank you for everything you do.
And thank you.
Our pleasure. Next item is strategic plan, summit planning. And so I did not hear any objections to us doing it on the February board meeting night. So if that works for everyone, what we're trying to do right now is keep that February agenda light so that the majority of the time is dedicated to the strategic plan summit update. There might be a few topics that have to be on there due to time, but the goal is to spend the majority of our time that night working on the strategic plan. And that is the 23rd? 24th of February at 5:30, and that would be, we believe we will hold it over at the high school, hopefully anticipating a large community presence, because it will be a two-way conversation through most of it, getting feedback from staff, community, whoever, wants to come and be a part of it. So it'll take on a little bit less formal of a board meeting structure at times. So we will officially pencil it in today as February 24th and at the high school.
Great.
And then in my update, and I apologize, I didn't send one this weekend. I went home sick Friday, and then I was sick all weekend. So hockey too. But the previous one, I told you that I was having lunch with Dan Wakeman tomorrow. Now everyone except Monica probably understands why. We're having our relief bus driver, and he's a custodian or teach sub right now for us. He's a retired CEO of number of healthcare systems. He was working with us and came to some meetings, saw some strategic plan working, and so we all, met with him a couple of times, I think, as a board, and he's been with us through this whole process. So I meet with him and just kind of give him an update and get his thoughts on how to move this process forward. So that's why I'm having lunch with him tomorrow, he's done these before, and he'll just kind of give me some pointers on how we want to structure it. And then we'll build the agenda for that the summit. So,
Great.
With him tomorrow, so I'll have some updates there. And I guess two Just two quick updates. We had a great session today with our central office administrators where we now have a war room. It's a room down at the end of this building with a cork board that's the length of a wall, and we've got the years mapped out. And we're starting to identify all of our long-term planning projects and initiatives. And so we've put those on there. Next is to overlay our anticipated enrollment numbers over the next couple of years. Our anticipated funding, as best we can do that from the state of Michigan. And then, really talk about those are the expectations of launching this in, next year, next semester, whatever it might be, which that wall will ultimately become. A lot of that detail will go on to the strategic plan document that you've got with the yellow and the green, and it'll be providing those timelines and more detail than that's on that original document for the plan. So that was a productive meeting there today. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, our administrators, you saw the activity that they were working on where they take what they're currently doing and align it with our strategic plan. So they turned that in to us 2 weeks ago. There was a lot of similarities, which was good. People felt that they were strong in the same areas. Greatest areas of need were for a lot of similarities. But then we take that and start customizing those into our school improvement plans across the district, which again is that detail to many of those components on the strategic plan. I think that activity was very well received from our administrators and staff that were involved in it. And they're starting to see that connection to, what they're doing now is connected to the strategic plan. And then the strategic plan is giving them that vision of where we're going with all of this. Again, we'll provide more detailed updates when we get to the 24th. That's my update.
Thanks. Okay. Information and questions from board members. I just had a quick one that I had gotten. I don't know if everyone got this in their mailbox or did I just get it? It's just a sales company, but it's about water filters, which made me think of our water at Wilson. I just wondered how things were with our water update at Wilson and if that was resolved or...
Well, it is managed.
Managed, yeah, that would be the better word.
Resolved would be, I think, tearing out the wells and all of the pipes and everything.
Yeah.
We're not still using like Brita filters or...
No, we are.
Oh, we are?
Well, we're
But
doing
some
all-
big ones, not like little hand picked
They've got
filters.
in the kitchen, they've got the filter, but they're getting Absolpure,
Oh, okay.
whatever the water
Yeah,
is.
we're getting, kitchen, we're getting Culligan bottled water. We do have a pure water filter on the kitchen faucet. And we are moving forward. There is the new Filter First legislation, which requires every consumptive faucet to have a at-the-point filter on it. So that's moving forward. That's got to be implemented by 25-26 school year. So.
Great. Kitchen staff, I haven't heard that they're not happy, so them must be going okay and...
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's everything to remedy the situation. Yes, we would have to remove all the lines from the well throughout the entire school to get rid of the lead, switch out the faucets.
Yeah.
It is managed at the time, so.
Yeah, all the drinking faucets have
Yeah, all the drinking,
filters and they're all...
the bottle fill
in
stations
compliance
are all
and everything.
filtered. Any water used for consumption is filtered or it comes from Culligan.
Great. I just saw that and it made me think of it, so.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I had a question. So I did, I'm getting used to the new superintendent update format, and I did find the teacher, the staff meeting information, the schedule. I did find that, thank you. Is there a separate schedule, though, for, like specifically for teacher trainings on really just anything? Is that?
Yeah.
Could we find that somewhere, too?
So, yeah, it would be, like we have structured days coming up. When's our next PD day? It's in March. We have a half day.
13th and 14th.
And typically, the agenda gets sent out 15 days prior to that.
Great. Could we be copied on that?
Yeah. Yep.
That would be super, thank you.
So we got March days and then, a May day. So there's two where, again, the whole district is doing that PD. And then there are the team times that Romeo talked about where the teachers are working in small groups on data and various things like that. We do have those schedules available, but it's typically, at the elementary, it might be two teachers, working together or something.
Quite a different animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. And my other thing was really just a shout out to Summer. I've been enjoying the meeting minutes. There's quite a lot of detail, and I know it takes a lot of time to do that, but I really appreciate the level of detail. I just want to thank you.
I had two questions. Can we talk about the Mary's wish for a sinking fund?
Well,
Had to put a name on it.
Sure.
But could we get that on a workshop agenda or am I barking up the wrong tree?
No, absolutely. We see that like a 2-year project of preparation for it. So it's, because there's a lot of community awareness that needs to be done to get to that point. So it is in fact on our wall in the war room that we know eventually we need to get there. So we can have conversations, but there's a lot of information that we need to put together, I think, to really then start having conversations about it.
I'm confused then. So when I was, in my mind, I think we take money out of our budget.
Sorry, two different things.
You're talking about...
Yeah, a sinking fund would be a millage,
Okay.
and that
that
needs
would be a
multiple
different
years
animal.
of preparation and explanation and, planning and everything. So, yeah, we did have some conversations about what you had mentioned at the last meeting. So we can put that, I think it's already on February's workshop agenda, to talk about setting aside money from our fund balance for various projects.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was...
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't on the whole pass another tax...
Yeah.
...wagon there. Okay. The other question was about the sewer pipe. Did you get an answer? Has anybody seen it?
You want?
Because I just voted and I forgot to ask during that vote. I hate to spend $500,000 on concrete and asphalt and then have...
I have, for your answer, I have skips coming Wednesday to camera the line,
Okay.
sewer and sanitary, or not storm.
Well, we're replacing the storm back there, correct?
I would have to, I think we're leaving some, we're changing some of it and we're replacing, but that's, I think the storm, we're talking the storm underneath the school and the sewer underneath the school.
Okay.
That's,
Yeah, well, my concern was, and Dave just kind of flipped it out there, after you left, as a sinking fund need was the sewer pipe out to Washington, and then it clicked that we're paving over top of this.
correct.
So I
Correct.
thought.
So we're gonna camera it from the back towards the railroad tracks from the stadium, that side, all the way back up to between D&E House.
Okay,
So that's Wednesday's, on Wednesday's agenda.
good enough.
So, and then once we know that, we'll be able to make an assessment and
Yeah.
go from there.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks. I do have one thing too.
Yeah, great.
Sorry. After that email, I would like to maybe at our next workshop, talk about the personal communication devices and look into it a little bit further and see if we can revise our policy. I know the policy is different between the high school and the junior high, and maybe invite some of the high school and junior high staff to kind of give us their thoughts on it.
Yeah, they were involved in the development of the current plan.
Yep. Just to take a look, since it's been so helpful, just to make sure if we need to refine it a little more. I think it's shown great improvement. If we can show more improvement, I think that would be...
Yeah, so, hey, Romeo, The personal device plan, do you do an annual review of that policy as you're preparing your handbook?
Yeah, we did a tweak this year, but very little. We added, I believe, the watches were in there before. We added the watches.
And is there staff input on that?
Yeah, it's part of the MTSS team. So the dean works on that with MTSS, because it ends up being a classroom managed disciplines. So it's open for, so at the end of the year, it'll probably be part of his, probably May agenda. And then that's what you bring to John when we start revising that piece, and then looking forward to how we start the year.
And so we look at handbooks, the board will, I was trying to remember, you approved the handbooks in July of last year, in case there were any last minute changes. So we started having conversations about handbooks and policies, that kind of thing, April, May. And so I would ask that we kind of put it along that line, since it's already a part of the process that
We
they
can
do.
move it down a few months.
Yeah.
As long as we visit it.
Did you have a question about the COVID ones now?
Oh, yeah, and then I didn't know if I had to bring that back up, but I know you guys already got rid of a few of the COVID policies. I did notice that 8450.06 was still in the policies, and I just wanted to review that and possibly get rid of that one along with the other ones.
Yeah, and I did reach out to Neola, our rep, and they said, right in it, it says it expires when the ETS expires, but I couldn't find anything that said the ETS expired. But my guess is when we moved out of emergency state that all the ETSs did. However, he said there's no concern with rescinding that policy because it kind of did it itself, so.
Okay, well, maybe
Just
let's,
add that on the
yep, let's add that
Yeah.
one then, please, Summer, to our workshop in February.
What did?
I submitted it today.
Oh, well, they need to take action on it though.
Yeah,
so.
we'll have to take action on it, but, okay, perfect. So if we can add that one to the February workshop, that'd be great. And we'll keep that personal communication device one, make sure we bring that up in the spring.
Mhm.
The only question I had is, I know we've got all the applications in for the sex advisory board. I assume we're going to get some guidance on that process coming soon?
Yeah, we figured we'd do it at the February workshop.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Very good, thank you.
And I did send out an email, based on the emails we had, just letting them know we received their application and that the board's going to be taking action soon, so.
Are we going to get a full updated list on that, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think after the workshop meeting, a couple more came in, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll send out one clean sheet. Because again, there's two different versions, so maybe we'll just do a master spreadsheet with everyone. We'll figure it out. So,
Way easier.
Yeah, if we can get a little bit, obviously, I think if we are closing it, officially closing it the end of this month, we can get it sooner when it closes rather than close to the workshops. So we have a little bit of time to actually go
Yeah.
through it.
I think the policy said we continuously accepted, didn't we?
Yeah, once someone has applied, we keep it on the record for,
Okay.
I think it says 2 years or something. So, yeah, we could keep it rolling. The challenge is, if that night someone applies, I mean, that's not really a challenge, but
Yeah.
we would just have to say, you are in the queue, should our ones that applied earlier don't meet the.
Okay. Anyone else have anything? Okay, if not, we'll be heading into a closed session. Are we staying in here for a closed session? Okay, we're staying in
Yeah.
here for a closed session, not taking any action, just an informational closed session. So you're more than welcome to wait in hallways or wait outside, but we won't be taking any action. We'll coming in and closing the meeting. So thank you, everyone, for coming, if you're not coming back in. We'll need a motion to meet in closed session under Section 8C of the Open Meetings Act to hear a report on local negotiations and information on the process.
I would offer that motion.
Second.
Okay, anything further? All in favor, show of hands. Okay, thank you. Okay, we are back in open session, and for anyone tuning in, just want to apologize that we actually do have some action to take. We were not correct in our statement that we didn't, so we are back live with a motion. Do you want to read the motion for us, Summer? Do you have it? Okay.
I think I
You got it? Okay, AJ, go for
do
it.
you have it, Summer?
Go for it, AJ. You got it.
Oh, boy. I move to accept the ESP1 contract as presented.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, anyone in support of that motion?
Support.
Thank you, Monica.
Thanks for not leaving me hanging.
Okay, any further conversation? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, show of hands, please. All right, motion carries for that contract, thank you, and, yep, Phil Heimerl said yes, we are working, so I thought that was a good one to check. Okay, with that, we see our upcoming meetings. February 10th, we have a workshop back here. Looks like we see the SPAC meeting that Dave will be hosting on the 19th, and then regular workshop, or regular meeting on the 24th, which will likely be at the high school.
Yes.
So that we can tie into strategic planning, and with that, we can adjourn. Thank you.